Are we on? Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láàárọ̀ yìí o? Má stress mi kìíní yìí o. Are we on? I don't know what's going on. Oh, okay. Good morning, Auntie Olanike. Larry Dipo, good morning. Kí ni stress mi láàárọ̀ yìí? Thank you for joining. Thank you guys for joining me. Good morning. Omotola Odedipe. You remind me to stream to share on YouTube, on Facebook. Let me quickly share to YouTube. I mean Facebook. On the monthly. 1 minute. So let me delete the upcoming so that people can know that I've started. All right. I need to share for me 1 minute so I can share on Facebook so that people can get to. The other link failed. Yes, you noticed. Thank you. I was like, what's going on? Let me quickly share to. Yeah, okay, this one is okay now. So let me quickly share it. Oh, welcome guys. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Just 1 minute for me to share to Facebook so people can join us on Facebook. Please 1 minute. Let me share it on Facebook so people can join us. Morayo, how are you? Stop. Just 1 minute, please. Sometimes you can't help all this. Sometimes things just doesn't work as you plan it, and this is one of those days. I try to be ready on time, only for this to be happening. All right. Okay, so we should be good now. All right, guys. So good morning and welcome. Thank you, every one of you. Thanks for joining me. Sorry, things didn't work out the way I planned it. I tried. The link failed initially. I came out, so I had to start all over again. So that is why it seems like I'm not really comported or coordinated. It was due to technical issues on YouTube while I was trying to set up the studio. So good morning, guys, and thank you for joining me. I can't see comment too. I should have even used the other thing. All right, let me be looking at comment from here so I can say hello to every one of you before we start. So while we are waiting for others to join us, all right. So good morning. Good afternoon at your hand. It's morning here. I can't see comment. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully the comments come back. Hopefully. So I can see Evelyn Alexandra, Ukrika Gema Murayo, Tutuola Ahmed, Olalekan, Peace, Oparaguni Lade, Omonli, I don't greet you. Larry Dipo, I don't greet you. Kids Lover Bounce, Omotola Odedipe. So I greet every one of you. Good morning and thank you for joining me. Ekaro. So Shalafiani, I hope you are all doing great. How are you guys? I'm trying. Nike Akinsoya, good morning. Good morning. Evelyn Alexander, I see you. Good morning. Why is the comment disappearing on this particular something? I don't know why the comment disappeared, but I can see it on this other phone anyway. So should we start? Let us sing Nigeria anthem before we start. Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear father's land. Láyà ń jọlá àlàáfíà ni. Àlàáfíà ni. I am doing great. And I hope you're doing great too. Thank you guys. Yeah, shake a berry. All right, I think we have to start now. This is where I want to be checking the comment too. Because the comment is disappearing from this place. Hopefully people get to join us. Aproko, you are eating lamb suya and chilled with Jesus. Chilling with Jesus. Hello, Sopomoge yẹn. Tani yẹn, how are you? Hey, can you ma stress me lẹ́ni o? How to look at comments o, eh? It's giving me stress. Okay, let me start this all over again. So I can get to see comments. Okay, let me do it this way because this wahala is getting too much for my liking. Oh, Shakiru, you are the one that is always calling me Omoge. Ilode. Anyway, please help me to press the love button before we start. Eba me love. Please kindly press the love button, then we start. So that I bet people it can get more views. Raymond, Osanyadi, how are you? Good morning. Kindly press the love button. Kindly help me to press the love button before we start. Thank you. Kindly help me to press the love button, then we start. Kindly help me to press the love button. Olaniko Yibola, good morning. Ekaro. Oh yeah, love button, then we start. Let me see the Sherry, immediately you press the love button, the views increase. So let's get more people to join us. The love button is by your right hand side. Just click the button, you will see it on the right side towards the bottom line, the bottom of the phone or whatever you are using to watch. So just click on it and it will give us more views. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you. So good morning once again and thank you for joining me. Shall make we sing Nigeria national anthem before we start? Hi, waiting we no go see for Nigeria hand. So the news I saw, I know it's not new. I think it came out. Ramadan is starting tomorrow. Ẹni tó tó sọ ni, ó dà bàbá mi mú gbà. Thank you. Few days ago, the news broke out. I think about 2 or 3 days ago that Bauchi State government, they have asked all schools to close in Bauchi throughout the Ramadan period. When I saw the news, I said, what has Ramadan got to do with school? What is the reason? What was the reason? Why are they saying they should close the school? So I was wondering, I said, the people that gave us this religion, which is Saudi Arabia, the Arabians that brought Islam, their country is well developed. Things are working right in their country. Everything is functioning well. What is the essence of closing the school for Ramadan? Are children supposed to fast? Number one. Are children in northern area being forced to fast? Why are they closing the school? And another thing that comes to mind is the period, the classes they are going to miss. How are they going to catch up? Olueke, thank you. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Sorry, I was supposed to come in the evening, but because I want to do something in the evening, that's why I came out now. So there will be an exception. What is the essence of closing that school? Of closing schools? Not only public schools, even private schools are going to be closed. Private schools are asked to be closed. Public schools are asked to be closed, starting from nursery classes to university level. All are asked to be closed. Now, how will those children meet up? They will write WAEC very soon. The classes they are going to miss, how are they going to catch up with those classes? What is the federal government doing concerning this? Are Northerners not part of Nigeria anymore? Are the children of North not going to mingle, one and dine with the rest of Nigeria? As Nigeria become a country where a state, okay, I know states can decide, in the next few weeks they will write JAMB, few weeks or few months. I think JAMB is always, somebody said I'm an atheist, will that apply to me? I think it's applicable to everybody in the north, in Bauchi State, not all the north. It's applicable to every indigene of northern states, of Bauchi State, as long as you reside in Bauchi. As long as you reside in Bauchi. So they sent out memo addressing the memo to every necessary body in Bauchi. Actually, the memo was dated 7th of January. No, sorry, I'm reading something else. So they have approved school calendar. Now one for Nigeria and religion. Now one for that country and religion. Oh. So for good 5 weeks, the schools will be closed. For good 5 weeks, those children are going to stay at home. It's not as if it is holiday period though. It's school calendar period where children are supposed to be going to school. Are these people looking at the repercussion on the education of these children? Are they really going to school in that place? I'm the one that is feeling somehow about it. How can they close school because they want to do Ramadan? I have been to a lot of, about 2 Arabian countries, Muslim country I should say, which is Dubai and Doha, Qatar. You don't even see the evidence of, they don't read to pass. They will supply them answers in the examination hall. I witnessed that during my NYC year. In Kano State. Now, not A, no, number 2, B, number 3, C, you will be hearing. But how come they are the people that the government, if you look at the top parastatals in Nigeria, they are the people heading those government places in Nigeria. They even pay and beg them to go to school. I've never been to the northern states in Nigeria, so I don't know much about them. I've never been there at all. Now connection. I am a northerner and that I schooled in the south. Answers were given too. In the south, in the west is not done. Oh, it's not done in the west. Oh, because we school in the west. It is not done in the west. Oh, they will give you answers to questions. No wonder. Hey. So Nigeria now is all about religion. Religion supersedes education now in that country. Religion is now above education. Please, how will Nigeria develop? How will that country move forward? And we say religion has not done damage to us. The way we are using religion is so sad. And these are the people that will head government places. These are the people that will head important places in that country. Okay, somebody said they head the place because other tribe, Japa, but they stay. They hardly travel out. Yes, they hardly travel. You are right. Somebody said, I remember when I was in Lagos, then full time, full FTC, Federal Technical College in Lagos State. They pay them every month. Okay, number to call in. +1 240 351 9287. They don't use religion finish that country. So for good 30 days, the fasting is starting tomorrow. So until end of March, before those children will go to school. Until end of March, before they can go to school. And their other counterparts are going to school in other places and other countries. Learning. No wonder. The number to call in is +1. Type. Again, let me type it and put it on the comment section. Hey, how will that country move forward by today alone? I'm coming. I want to try and put the number +1 240 351 9287. +1 240 351 9287. Me, I have never been in that north. I've never been there, not even for once. So I don't know much about the place. I have never. So I don't know much about that place and what is going on there. All I know is that I know they migrate to Lagos and all they do are menial jobs. Is it that those people too, the commoners, they are so comfortable with the way their lives is or what their lives are or what? Don't they see their counterparts in the western part of Nigeria and the southern part? How they are progressing, at least to some extent. To some extent, the way the Westerners are progressing and developing, not in infrastructure, individual development. I'm not talking of infrastructure now. Individual development, they can't compare. And are they not envious or, want it to be like the Westerners? To blame Northerners does not help us. Then who should we blame? You want to blame the West for what the Northerners are doing? Northerners are highly educated and very conservative in nature. Highly educated. Okay, you said what opportunity is provided to people in the North? Oh, okay, that's what you are trying to say. The line is open if you want to call. +1 351 +1 240 351 9287. Yeah, that's the number to call. An average Hausa man believes somebody must be rich and somebody must be poor. That is the mentality of... No, I'm not on Facebook. I'm not streaming on Facebook for now. That's the mentality of religion, that somebody must be rich. Religion and culture. Auntie, please don't let people give misleading narrative about the North. Okay, what is it about the North that you know? You want to call in and tell us? Because I've never been there, like I said, but I know most of them come to the West and the kind of job they do, they hardly go to school, which is what we know. They don't go to school much when they come to the West. They believe quota system and federal character will help them. Is helping them? Are they not the one heading our federal institutions and federal places in Nigeria? They are in charge now. And you wonder with the level of this thing there, how they come to be the one leading a lot of things in that country. Yeah.
Yes, ma. Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
Power on. Bluetooth mode.
Please hold on. Let it connect to Bluetooth.
Connected.
Go ahead.
So the northern part of Nigeria is almost similar to the occurrence in northern part of Nigeria is similar to what we have in the west and the eastern part of Nigeria. Just like we have highly educated people in the north, in the south and the west, the south, the west, and the east. Exact same thing too also happens in the northern part of Nigeria. Now, the difference there is, you see, the northerners, they have a very reserved culture. They have a very reserved nature. They are more of they have a very conservative way of projecting themselves. You know, like we in the south, the west, and the east, we're quite loud, or no, not loud. How will I describe it? Like, you know, we're quite expressive.
Yes.
In the way we come across. An average northerner is not like that. And of course, religion, because of the religious way of doing things, the dominant religion, which is Islamic religion.
Yeah.
There's also that religion, there's also that thing around submission. And they're not, they have professors. I mean, I stayed in the north of Nigeria. They have professors. They have highly educated, like whatever career you're looking for, they have them among the northerners.
Will you compare it to what we have in the west?
Ma?
Will you compare the educated people to the ones in the west?
Oh, yes. The difference, you see, for them in the north, they are very reserved. They are not like us. Like, I don't know how to explain it. They are very reserved. You know, like the normal, like the way, you know, for us in the south and southeast and west, we are quite expressive. I don't know how to say it.
Some people are disagreeing with you.
We are very expressive.
Some people say the difference is much.
Ma?
Some people say the difference is much.
In what way? Economic factor?
That you cannot compare, that we are more educated in the West than them.
That's not true. That's far from being like, that's far from the truth. That is far from the truth. Yes, there are people who do menial jobs in the north. There are people who, just like the south, it's just like people who go to, just like in Lagos. If you are going to look at Lagos from the lens of the Agberus, that's not the reality of Lagos. It's just like Niger Delta. If you are looking at Niger Delta from the eyes of I want to see that's not the truth about Niger Delta.
They are minimal now. They are not much. You can't use it to compare now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that their culture is quite, because a lot, there is, I mean, I know for a fact, because I stayed in the north and I married a northerner. And I know for a fact that their culture is totally different, because even in the way we address things, like the way we respond to situation, they are more reserved. They will not respond the way we respond.
What do you say about this, Tim and Jack, thank you. What do you say about this closure of school for 30 days? To observe Ramadan.
Okay, so in Bauchi State, until you see Bauchi State is more of a dominant,
because I think what you are saying is more of cultural thing now, which we know culturally they are very reserved. Definitely, they are more laid back culturally.
For Bauchi State,
but now
you see Bauchi State.
Okay, go ahead.
Ma?
Go ahead.
So Bauchi State is predominantly Islam. It's more Islamic, okay?
Definitely.
Now, all of these things, you know, I think they have the Sharia law. They have the Sharia system in Bauchi State. So, it could be, I mean, this was never always the case, and that's the truth. It was never always the case. They don't used to close schools. I mean, I stayed in Jos, and I know that Jos is not a reflection of religion in the northern part of Nigeria, until the Jos crisis. But the likes of even Borno State, but I did my polytechnic in Federal Poly Bauchi. Okay. They don't close schools. That I know for a fact, they don't close schools. But it could be, you know, now religion, there's a lot of things that has changed from the time that we went to school and the time that we stayed in the north. So religion obviously has impacted Nigeria, quote and unquote, in different angle. So, and I mean, that's what I feel anyway. But the whole closure of school, because I stayed in the north, I went to school in Bauchi State, and during the Ramadan, they go to school. Until I served at Chibok, my NYSC was at Chibok in Borno State. Yes, they go to, like, there are girls who go to school at a much older age, but they don't close up during Ramadan. That I know.
But they are closing up now. It's like something is going
That's
on.
what I'm saying. A lot has changed. You know what I mean, ma? A lot has changed. It's just like when we're growing up in Nigeria, when we stayed in Nigeria, there are things that we did not see happening when we're staying in Nigeria.
Yeah.
But now some of these things are now happening. So I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying, this is, some of these things are new. Because I remember when I saw it in the news yesterday, I was like, Bauchi State, closed school. I went to Federal Poly Bauchi before proceeding to university. And I did my A levels in Kefi. And Kefi is a predominantly Muslim environment. They don't stop going to school during Ramadan. All right, ma.
Thank you. So the school is closed. It's going to be closed now, and they will not resume until April 5th. It's not new. It's social media that is making more things known. Somebody said they are closing up now because of the new wave of Islamic fundamentalism. Northerners are yes, definitely they are less exposed. But I'm surprised that they said they are very well educated, that the quota is almost the same thing. I'm surprised. Because the ones I know, I'm sorry if it sounds like an insult for any, apologies to any Northerner here. While I was growing up, at least when I was in Nigeria, in Lagos, the ones I know are not the educated ones. They are more like the ones that, you call to, and you wonder why they don't want to go to school. Like I said, I've never been to the north, so and I know that should not form the overall opinion. Okay? And if you check, even on findings, it said that they are less educated than every other part of Nigeria. So I'm surprised. She said they are more educated, and we know they don't travel. That we know very well. The people that travel more are Igbos and Yorubas. We know they don't travel out. They don't leave Nigeria. They hardly travel out. But they are traveling out now. Some of them are traveling out now. But for school to be closed, all because of Ramadan, still amazes me. Is it because of the teachers? And is it by force they have to do that fasting? Because that fasting is supposed to be an individual thing. It's an individual something whereby I can say I want to fast or I don't want to fast. Why is it being forced on people? Why is it something that everybody has to fast, and because of that, school has to be closed? I'm a Yoruba man, born and bred in Ilorin. Okay, we cannot compare. So the number to call in if you want to contribute is +1 240 351 9287. Almenjiri is a small fraction of the northerners. I have never been there, like I keep saying, but I think something is not right. Something is going on. Like they said, they are going to bring Sharia to the West. Probably this is the move. It's one of the move they are trying to start. Because why will you close school? Why will any sane person agree? Because I want to believe that decision was taken to the House. Maybe it was approved, and they now put it out and said, yeah, because the governor alone cannot do that decision. Ramadan is a requirement for all Muslims. It's not a choice. That's a lie. It's a choice. You have a choice to fast or not to fast. Maybe for the extremists. Maybe for the extremists. It's a lie. I was born a Muslim. Fasting is a choice. Nobody forces it on anybody. At least in the West. Maybe in the northern part, maybe. But in the West, nobody forces you to fast. If you say you can't fast, nobody will tell you to fast by force. It's not compulsory. Yes, it's one of the pillars of Islam, like they say. If you say maybe in the north, under Sharia, it is not a choice. Yes, that's what I just said. It's one of the 5 pillars of Islam, but it is not compulsory. In the West, I grew up a Muslim. At least I grew up as a Muslim to a certain age. And I remember nobody forces anybody to fast. If they ask you to fast, your parents will say, yeah, they will wake you up as young children then. But there are days you will tell them you cannot, you are not feeling okay. And I know there are days even the old adults will say they don't want to fast. Because the people that gave us this, that brought this religion to us, they are not even practicing it the way we practice it. How did we get to this extent whereby we are now changing things and making things worse? Instead of engaging our youth, allowing these children to develop in their brain, in their mind, you are closing school while the rest are going to school. You will close school for almost 31 days. Now, the school will be closed today. They will not open until the 5th of April. That is over 34 days, maybe 35 days. So they will lose classes of almost 5 weeks. 5 good weeks. And yet, they want to match up with the rest. No. It's not the same thing. Somebody said, I think school closed for Christmas and Christmas break. Christmas break is first term break. Yes, that's first term break, general first term break all over. That's a different thing. It's not the same thing. School usually close and they resume by January. I think that's the first term break. Then second term break is in April. Is that what they are trying to... Nigeria, oh! You see, as they can't take the religion finish us, then pack the 2 religion, pack and give Nigeria. 5 weeks. It's 5 weeks, Olu. Not 4 weeks. 5 good weeks. So they pack all the religion, the 2 religion, give it to us. Look at the confusion now. So is it that they are trying to compete with the Christians? Is that what they are trying to do? The number to call is +1 351. Okay, you can't pay me. Real backwardness. Nigeria. Hello, good morning, sis. English, please. Good morning. English, please.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is hearing me.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
So what I see about this, when I saw it yesterday, I was surprised. That's one. And the other side, I was not surprised. The reason is they have been doing this for a long time. Like somebody said, social media is exposing a lot of secrets that is not well known. This is not the first time they are closing down their school. And the rate at which those of us are Southwest, Southeast, and do education is different from the Northerners entirely. They don't agree with us in time of Western education. They prefer their Arabic education, something of that nature.
But what advantage did that give them? What advantage is that Arabic education?
So they practice that one more. But when it comes to Western education, they don't value it the way we value it. Though they have enlightened minds among them, but their enlightened minds cannot be compared to our own people. Is it comparable? Like the first caller said, their rate of enlightenment cannot be compared with our rate of enlightenment when it comes to education. They hardly travel out. And that is why, if you look at all our government parastatals, agency, ministries, the people at the top high-ranking officers are Hausas, are the northerners, because they don't travel out. They prefer to stay within the country. They will tell you what are they looking for outside that they cannot find here. While we are looking for greener pasture outside the country, they don't go outside. They stay within the caucus of this country. They don't go. They are enslaved to their religion. Like I've been saying, religion bastardization. We are just seeing it now. This is not the first time they are doing it. While others are having break mid time 2 days, they have their own like 1 week, 2 weeks. They don't value the education. They don't go to school the way we are going to school. They don't read as we are reading. Look at the rate of alimanji all over the country. Go to the Sabos. Only there any time that you will see Hausa that they will not have Sabo. Who are the set of people in the Sabo? Is it Hausa? They don't go to school the way we go to school. They don't reason the way we reason. It's social media that is exposing all these things now. Those people at the House of Assembly that signed this, that agree with it, didn't they go to school? Didn't they go to school? You won't believe it. Even as a northerner, if you are working at their local government or ministry, whether you go to office or you didn't go to office, they will pay you. You will collect your salary. Look at the issue of electricity. I was born and bred in Kaduna.
Oh, okay, you grew up there.
They don't pay for electricity. Yes. They don't pay for electricity in the north. It is we here that are paying for them. They will be using electricity. If any electricity staff, NEPA or whatever, wanted to access into their house, they can kill that person and nothing will happen.
Wow.
They don't pay. And they have limited money they can pay. They don't pay more than 1,800. Go and check it very well. I'm going to say it. Everybody all over the world is hearing me. It is the Southwest, Southeast that are paying for most of the accessibility that they are having to most of our technology development.
Wow.
They don't value education. They have people at the top. And the quota system is really helping them. They are seriously benefiting from it. And that is why a girl of 10 years, 12 years, get married there. They will tell you what are you going to do in the school. They will hand over that child 10 years to a man of 70 years, 80 years.
That's really
and that is why if I enter Peku, if I want to travel to Kaduna now or any northern part, I don't like sitting beside Hausa women.
Why?
Because the moment they tell you they want to pee and you don't, and the driver didn't park on time, that person will be on the chair.
Yeah, this that's
their system has already matched. They have dilapidated systems in their body. So many things are wrong. So many things have been spoiled because of the exposure to sexual intercourse at a yearly stage, yearly years, which is not happening here. So many things are wrong over there.
It's happening there, but it's not so common.
So I believe honestly that we are getting to the stage that things will get better. With this enlightenment, with these shows, many people will hear it, even their leaders will listen to it. They will know so many things are wrong with them. They have to correct it.
Are you saying they don't know what they are doing?
Like this. Look at Yoruba and the Hausas and the Igbos, the Easterners that are there. They will be affected. They won't go to school. And gradually, they want to bring the Sharia law down here.
Yeah, we are hearing about that. Are they going to allow them bring Sharia to West? Hey, they want to kuku finish.
With our leaders, they can do and not do. You know, religion and
Sharia,
religion and tribe, and when it comes to tribe, religion and politics, they are 5 and 6. They work hand in hand. They work hand in hand. So anything can happen. And that is what people are saying it now. When they bring their Sharia, the Sharia is not for other religion. It is only meant for Muslims. So they cannot compel other religion to obey their Sharia. And if you look at our constitution, I'm a judicial staff. If you look at our constitution in Nigeria, the law that binds us is guided by Sharia. You hardly see anything that are related to other religion in our constitution. And that's part of the things they are using. Ask if there are baristas there, if there are lawyers there or judges there, let them talk. Let them defend what I'm saying, if I'm telling lies. 80% of our law, or of our constitutional law, is made of Sharia. It's quoted from the Quran. You can never see any Bible quotes. You can never see any Ifa quote. You can never see any Oshu quote. But you will see Quranic quotes in our constitutional law. So we have a long way to go. I think with this awareness, a lot of things will be changed. Because we cannot continue like this. In the next 5 weeks now, there's going to be exam. And they're already spending like four weeks now at all. How many weeks?
They are going to spend 5 weeks.
Do they have?
They are going to be spending 5 weeks.
Can you just imagine? Starting from tomorrow. God will help us, oh. God bless you, Auntie. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, sis.
You are really doing well.
Thank you, man.
Let us just continue. We will not be silent.
Somebody said, why are you guys always emotional and sentimental? Why do you attach emotions to what we are saying? This is just a public discussion. What do you mean by don't you like Northerners? What has that got to do with what we are saying? Anyway, if I miss your call, I will give you a call back. So the number to call to contribute is +1 240 351 9287. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. I just have one quick question. I think when you fast, you're supposed to continue your daily lives.
Yes.
Live normally.
Yeah, you do whatever you need to do.
Then should
continue working.
Close, because fasting should be a sacrifice, should be a dedication for your faith. Why then should you stop doing your
daily activity,
daily studies, as the case may be?
I don't know.
Because you're fasting. I'm asking.
I don't know.
And then the last caller that called gave a lot of enlightening
information.
Gave a very enlightening discussion, because there's so much he said I thought I knew I didn't know. And it's interesting. I love listening to your shows because I learn a lot. And yeah, she's really taught a lot of things. I push you start asking questions. For me, the question really is, if you're fasting as a Muslim, shouldn't you continue living your normal life?
If you are fasting,
and if your normal life is part of education, why then should you close schools? Thank you.
Thank you. Because I'm going to call the caller before the last one back. Somebody asked a very valid question that I want to ask her. So, wow, Nigeria. How will this country progress by? I hope she picks. Because what has fasting got to do with going to school, working, or whatever? Hello, sis. Yeah, you were mentioning some things that in our constitution, some of our constitutions are written according to Arabic law. Can you give us an example?
I don't want to say, seriously, I don't want to say much, you know. Most of our rules, our law, stop me. Hello, ma.
Yes, I'm going, ma.
Sorry, hello, ma.
We can hear you, ma.
Okay.
The constitution, you say some of our laws are written according to Sharia law. So we want you to give an example.
Let me come back so that I can cite and give you more evidence on it. I will come back before you finish.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
I will do that right away.
So if I miss your call, I'll give you a call back. Somebody said, do I know? She's calling you, she will call back. She says she works in the judiciary. So let's wait of it for her to call us back. Hello, good afternoon. Shati boss
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon, sis. How are you?
I something quickly. When you were talking about fasting, so Ramadan is actually a requirement for all Muslims. The problem is a lot of African Muslims do not practice it the way it's supposed to be. It's as simple as that.
Are you a Muslim?
So the only people I was a Muslim,
Okay.
and now I've converted. To be honest, one of the reasons I converted.
Are you a northern Muslim, or are you from Nigeria?
No. Yes, I am. I am.
From the north or from the west?
And this is something I've learned, is a lot of Nigerian Muslims do not practice it the way it is. And I think it's just a simple fact of when you're trying to adopt a religion that you think you know, you don't follow it properly. And I think one of the problems we have in our typical Nigerian community is we mix culture and religion together. And if you want to follow religion, follow it squarely. If you're going to follow your culture, follow it squarely. But we have a tendency where we mix it together. And it's not until I started having more Asian friends that I realized that, even down to the fact of what my Islamic name was, my family spelled it incorrectly, pronounced it incorrectly. Not because of accents or anything like that. They just didn't do it right. So it took me researching to understand that, one, this is not religion for me anyway. But even still, we don't practice it the way it's supposed to be practiced. It's as simple as that. It's not, and it's the thing when you said that, I think when you said you were younger, you were told that you don't have to do it. Yes, children are exempt from it. If you're unwell, you're exempt from it. If you're breastfeeding, you're exempt from it. And I also think, you're elderly as well.
Yes,
and
the elderly too.
Yeah, all of those people are exempt from actually following Ramadan. However, it is actually a requirement because it's 5 pillars of Islam. And anybody who's a true Muslim, you must follow it the way it is. It's not really a thing where you can say that you can do it if you feel like no, because that's the core part of being a Muslim. Also, doing your 5 daily prayer, going to Mecca, the fasting and praying.
5 pillars,
I think that's just about the 5 of them. They're actually 4 requirements. Even if you read online, it's not even a thing. I even made sure I Googled it before I even called you, just to make sure that I wasn't thinking differently. But it's actually a thing. It's not a choice. The only thing is, I feel like Nigerian Muslims will overdo something they don't understand and still try and make a point over something they don't understand, which is what is happening with this whole closing down schools. And one thing is, because of the environment I work in, I've witnessed a lot of Northerners coming into the country, coming into UK. And one of the things I'm realizing is that now a lot of them are breaking away from that enslaved mentality because they too want to step out to the light for themselves.
You mean some of the Northerners?
A lot of the women want to establish things for themselves.
Okay, the women.
That's all I have to say with it.
Don't go yet, please.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So my question to you now, thank you for your, the explanation you gave. Now,
yes,
this is involving children. Now, are you from the north?
I'm not a Northerner. I'm a full Yoruba girl. But I would say majority of my family grew up on that side. Yes.
From in the north.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Okay, so the question is, why are they involving children in this? Or is it the adults they are trying to protect?
It's not really a thing of protecting adults. And to be honest, where have you ever heard that Northerners are really ever protecting children? Let's be honest. It's children, unfortunately, in some environments are kind of used a bit like a tool. And it's more of a enslaved mentality, because if you're not going to school, there's no way you'll be able to progress in the worldwide, across the world. Let's be honest. If you're kept in a certain way, you will think a certain way, you will move a certain way, and that's just it. It's only if you have a different type of fire in your system, you will think differently. But, with this particular thing, I just see as in, it's a way to keep people in the same environment that they want to keep them in. If you're kept in a same particular way with a particular type of fear, you won't make noise. And the best way to do that is to start with children.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, most of the behaviors that some of us know as simple adults today, whether you grew up in a chaotic environment or a calm environment, you naturally have some of those core thinking inside your system. So that's a good way to start enslaving people is from young, because most parents you're the ones to train the child. So if you're following what the law of the land says and you're enforcing it in your child, and you have to understand that the way Northerners think, they're quite brutal in the way they behave.
Yes.
They're quite very abrupt, some of them are wonderful people, but when you meet the majority of them, they're very difficult people. They're very strict and direct in their ways. They don't like people coming in their circle, be it if it's the elite of them, the more poor of them. They don't like someone that, even within their own communities, someone who's not part of their own side, they don't really welcome them. So I really think that's really what it is. And to the question that someone said about the fasting, that aren't you supposed to carry on with your daily life? Yes, you are supposed to carry on with your daily life as someone who's practical.
Because we fasted when we were young. We still continue what we need to do.
Because in the sorry?
I said we fasted when we were young, at least when we were in the religion.
Yes.
We still carry on with what we need to do on daily basis.
Which is true. But I think there was a comment that someone said, and they mentioned that even in Dubai, the hours are reduced because they're mindful that in certain environments, you won't be able to move as you would if you had certain nutrients in your body. If you think about it medically, it would be difficult to be able to move. In colder environments, you'll be able to move a bit more because it'll be dark before you know it. It will be light before you know it. But in environments where it's much more hotter, it will be a little bit difficult to carry on with your daily life. If you think about it medically, it would be a little bit difficult. But that's why a lot of Muslims that you have in colder environments, when it gets to winter, some of them are very happy because when they start fasting, it's from, maybe they will start maybe at 4 a.m. When it's time to break, it's at least, in UK sometimes, by 4 o'clock it's pitch black. So they will be happy that,
so they can stop
I can break my fast. But in other environments, it would be a little bit difficult because the body needs a nutrient that it just needs. But for the whole thing about closing the schools, personally, I think it's, in a sense, I think it's a bit of a crime to withhold sound education from a child. I don't personally agree with it. But yeah, I would say, that is very, very unfair.
That's really crazy. That's really crazy.
It is. But
religion is not doing us good in that part of the world.
Difficult because they too had started walking and drinking and mentally believing. And somebody said something about the electricity. That thing is correct to an extent. Some areas they don't actually pay for electricity, and some areas they actually do pay for electricity.
Even with this privatized thing, does it still apply? Or when it was
NEPA?
Say that again? Was it when it was NEPA or now that it is privatized?
If I'm honest, I cannot remember. Let me not lie. But I do know that is going on. Because I have some people that live there that side, and they actually said, in some areas they don't pay, and some areas they do pay. I think they will be like a particular rate. So it may not be as high as the West or even the East.
Wow.
But up there, their rate may be slightly reduced. Yeah.
Wow. They are enjoying
Nigeria favors heavily, to an extent, sometimes the Northerners, because they've been in power for so many years. So much has gone wrong under their own leadership. But they choose to still move the way they want to move. It's a difficult time. It's a difficult time. But yes, anyway, let me leave you. But thank you for the discussion.
Thank you for your contribution. They are enjoying that place. So while others are paying bills, they are not paying bills. Using electricity free of charge. Wonderful. She's Yoruba, but I think she's been in Britain for long. Accents are be right. Who do us with religion? We are not even at that stage where they will ask people to start staying at home. We complain that a student cannot learn hungry. So let's transfer that to fasting. Should we not have the same thoughts? Thank you very much. Okay, so because they can't learn hungry, then why should they fast? Why should they ask them to fast? What is their fasting going to do? Even adults that are fasting, what is the advantage of that fasting? other than it is a religious thing. It doesn't change any situation. It doesn't change anything. So why will you involve children in this and say for the next 5 weeks, so don't go to school? Hey, how will that country progress with all these things that we are seeing? How will Nigeria move forward? How will Nigeria get better? Because all this religion that we carry on our head, what progress has it brought to us? What betterment has it brought to us? What progress has it brought to us as a people? Because even Saudi Arabia, they have already separated religion and their governance. They are not together anymore. Some people say they are more educated. They say they are very educated. Like I said, I've never been to the north. But honestly, I would love to see how developed they are. But according to search, they are not that educated. Because most of the aids they even send for education goes to them more than any other place. They give them more aid so that they can be educated. When you go and look at United States aid, something that they give for education, it's people from the northern part of the world that they put in the picture. More like they are begging them to go to school in that place. And the same people, you say they should go and stay at home and be doing what? Children are supposed to be gainfully engaged, developing their brain and their minds. You now ask them, go and sit down for the next 5 weeks, so because there is Ramadan. So how will those children now not grow up and take religion and put it on their head? And we think that country will be better. Make I not talk too much. Let me conserve my energy so that I can have energy for other stuff. I see the thing, I say, which one be this one again? Let us broadcast so that the world can see the kind of country Nigeria is at this generation, at this dispensation, at this era where development, technology, many things are being tried by young ones. Our own is to carry our children and so go and be fasting, all because of one religion that will not do them any benefits. That will not bring any benefits to those children. While their counterparts are thinking high, they are thinking about going to a journal at their age. Tiwati Bawa, when you hear say it is finished, it is completely finished. Because while the world is progressing and going forward in development, in infrastructures, in technology, in a lot of things, we are thinking backward to religion. The religion that the same people that brought it are leaving behind. I have told you a story of how I met with some Saudi people and we got into discussion. And they were telling me, I'll come to Saudi. I told them I've been to Dubai, I've been to Qatar. They said, come to Dubai and come to Saudi, that they are doing tourists now. I said, no, I'm not going for Mecca. And they said, no, not for Hajj. That they are doing tourism now. I said, can I dress the way I was dressed? I was putting on trousers. They said, yes. I said, dress, just there are some places you may not be allowed to go, but come. This same Saudi are even selling alcohol now. This same Saudi is participating in football, is participating in beauty pageants. The same Saudi, and I'm not sure. Hey, are we moving forward or we are reversing? When then the elites, the governors and all the people that are bringing these instructions, are their children going to sit at home? Are their children schooling in Nigeria? Wherever their children are schooling, are their children going to vacate and leave school for that period? That's $1 million question I'm going to leave. Most of this governor, the House of Rep, whoever are among the people that give these instructions that children should go and sit at home for the next 5 weeks. Wherever their own children are schooling, most of them will know their children school abroad. Their children are schooling in America, Canada, England, name it. Are their children going to sit at home? Will their children say, we are doing Ramadan, thereby we have to sit at home? Hello, sis.
Hello.
You said you were going to call back, so I saw your missed call. That's why I'm calling you. We can hear you, ma. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
I just want to share a little about history of Sharia and how it come into existence in Nigeria Constitution. Long before this law came to Nigeria, it was established and developed for it more muftis. They serve as lawyers and lawmakers in places where Sharia originated from. But however, they did not implement the punishment or reward according to this law themselves. They couldn't do it due to some reasons in the area they find themselves. So there were special bodies which divine and administer this law. And the legal system in general, there were two different types of courts where one might have gotten for the breaking of the divine will of God written in the order of Sharia. Some courts in Nigeria are using Sharia law, while some are not using Sharia law. But later in history, this law was substituted by the Western jurisprudence and the legal procedures. So when they bring some cases to court, they will claim Sharia laws in it. And since Muslims live together with adherents of this other religion, many compromises were made, aiming to pay respect to people from different religious backgrounds. And this, some of the Sharia law remain for the Muslim populated area. But notwithstanding, it still affects some people again. And you know, with the cause of this, some people fought for human rights, insisted that punishment like stoning are cancelled. Do you remember the case of a lady that was preaching, that was stoned in the north?
Deborah.
Till today, there was no justice. No, there is one that they stole, there is one they burned. Sorry, don't interject, so many people are hearing you. So as a result of their efforts, most countries agree to this, despite the claims of Muslims to leave it. However, you know, when we look into the details of Nigerian law, you will discover this that I'm talking about now. We have 9 states that are using Sharia law in Nigeria. And these states are Sabara State, Kano State, Sokoto State, Katsina State, Bauchi State, Borno State, Jigawa State, Kebbi State, Yobe, Kaduna, Niger, Gombe. All these states, they are using Sharia law. Unlike other 24 states. Yes, they are northerners. These ones have a unique legal system that is different from other legal jurisdictions that we are using in the Western and in the Southeast. So, which means that legal issue can be overlooked in 2 different types of courts.
Okay,
one of the courts is known as customary, while the other one is Sharia. That is what rules in Nigeria. Presently, as I'm talking.
Even in the West and the South?
Yes, unfortunately, there is no peace between those demanding this type of law applied and those opposing it. In fact, the Nigerian history is back with riots and protests against Sharia implementation on the level of the state.
Sister.
But the sad news is that in 2001, almost 100 people died fighting against this system in Kano.
Can you give us an example of one of the laws in the Constitution that you say is Sharia?
In marriage. Depending on what happens in marriage.
In marriage. Give us an example.
It happens in marriage land
Just give us one. Just give us
properties.
one.
When it comes to inheritance, they use Sharia law.
Give us. Is that Sharia law or cultural?
And they
That's
are
more of cultural law.
Family decide on.
See, auntie, that's more of a cultural law. That's a cultural law. It's not Sharia law. It's a cultural law. I think it's more about culture.
Okay, you know the emancipation of Sharia law is not for only Nigeria alone. It's mostly Islamic countries.
Definitely. But that what you just said is not applicable to Sharia law.
And it's biased.
But the example you just cited is not Sharia law. It's a cultural law. It's a cultural thing, a traditional thing.
There are federal court of appeals which rule and administer different cases in agreement with Sharia law in India. Today, there are
Somebody
federal
said
court
Sharia
of
law
appeals
is interconnected with
which
their
rule and
cultural law.
administer different cases in agreement with Sharia law. Hello?
Ma? I'm with you, ma.
So unfortunately, some say the system is biased and controversial, but it pays. So those people that like it, okay, one.
You mean people
they
in the north?
inculcate it into our laws. We work as federal appeals. When Muslims bring their issues, they use Sharia law to judge them.
That is in the
Others,
north.
they use the constitutional law.
That's in the north, sis.
Nigeria is using two laws: Sharia in the north, constitutional law in the western.
So don't mix it then. Don't say they use it all over Nigeria. That is inside the constitution. That is what what we want you to prove, because from what you said, you are trying to tell us that they use Sharia law in all over Nigeria, which is not true. Sharia law, it's only applicable in the north. They are only trying to introduce it now to the west, and it is not yet in place. They are only still deliberating
in some
on
parts
it.
of Nigeria, in some parts
Maybe
of the
Ilorin, that's Kwara State.
This southwest and southeast, they use it, ma'am. I cannot be certain cases for you. They use it, but I can send it to you personally.
No, you can say it on the platform. Nobody knows you now. You can say it while you are talking. It's for everybody. It's not for me. It's for the public. So, and if you are talking about marriage too, I think it's all about the kind of marriage everybody has.
So it is important to be aware of the area of his influence. So, seriously.
Sister.
Majorly is in the north, but they use it here.
Maybe the one you are talking, if you are applying it to marriage, I think the one for marriage is more of the type of marriage that you have, that the kind of marriage you have. Like somebody this morning, they were having discussion with that person that wanted to have a divorce, and they were asking her, what sort of marriage did you have? She said she had church marriage. Do you have certificates? She said the certificate she had was from church, and she wants to go for divorce. It's not as if she went for court marriage. Court marriage is different. Traditional marriage is different.
Yes.
It's different also from church marriage.
Yes.
But people mix it up by doing the three sometimes, which doesn't make sense. And I think the awareness is out too. So, and there is Islamic marriage too. I'm sure you know there is Islamic marriage. It doesn't matter whether you are in the west or you are in the south. Just like there is Christian marriage. So maybe that is what you are trying to say.
Court marriage.
Maybe that is what you are trying to say by
traditional marriage.
Yes, maybe that is what you are trying to say by saying it applies to marriage, that it's in the marriage constitution. So I think
yes.
Yeah, maybe if it's somebody married through the Islamic way, then you can say yes. But if it is not through Islamic way, then you can't generalize it then. Koyeyima, you can't generalize it.
Okay,
Yes.
I got what you are saying. It's true. It's all right, ma.
Thank you, ma'am. So, it seems we have a long way to go as a people, and I don't want us to dwell much on this issue. It's so sad that while the world is progressing and moving forward, we are stagnant, more like stagnant and moving backward. And we are not seeing anything wrong. That we are sitting on the keg of a gunpowder already as a people, and the world is going to definitely leave us behind the way things are going, the way our people's mind are being messed up, and religion is allowed to fly carelessly, and people can just stand up and give instructions because it's religion, and nobody's saying anything. It's very, very sad. So I just say let's talk on this, and it will be out there, the world to see the kind of people we are becoming, and religion definitely is doing us shaggy pro max, because the people that are giving these instructions, the elites, the northern elites, I'm very sure their children are living the best of their lives. We have seen their children clubbing, we have seen their children having the best of lives, but religion is made for the poor. All these things are only applicable to the children of the poor. A rich person, we now say my child should sit at home. No, a rich person that is well exposed, their children may not even be schooling in North. Their children may be schooling in the West, in the South, or outside Nigeria. So their children will even be part of all these things they are saying. The only people that it will affect are the people, the less privileged. They are the people that it will really affect, not the rich. The rich, their children are not there. And where their own children are, will they tell their children stay at home because it is Ramadan? They will say, "Quad, stay at home, Abi." Because even here, during Christmas, holidays are only observed on Christmas Day. Boxing Day, there is no holiday, except because it's falls during Christmas. Except they are trying to compete with the Christian calendar, and they want to have as many holidays that the calendar they are getting, and they want more holidays, because I don't see the reason for it. It's nonsense. And before you know it, every other state will start adopting it. In the north, they will start adopting it, and whether we like it or not, we are one. As long as we are still one, whatever concerns them concern every Nigerian. We should be concerned. We should not say because I don't like calling them names, the way people call them names. They say they are this, they are that. We are still one. We are one. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. I will see you guys later in the evening, all things being equal. So do have a good evening. Bye.